We have a video presenting part 2 of the speaking test of IELTS. Now I think before you see this video, you must be familiar with how many parts does a speaking test have. It has around 3 parts. That's part 1, part 2 and part 3. In this video, we are going to discuss part 2 of the speaking test. And whatever cue card you get in part 2, there are follow-up questions in part 3 related to the same cue card, right? So now, this is part 2 and you'll be presented with the cue card in which there will be around 3 to 4 questions, and you have to answer all the 3 or 4 questions that are given to you in 2 minutes, which means that the speaking time that is allotted to you is 2 minutes. Now let's read the questions. What is the goal in your life? How easy or difficult it will be to reach your goal? How do you plan to achieve this goal, and explain why this is one of your goals? Now, if we see, we have total 4 questions in this. Now, you'll say, how do we have 4 questions? We have 3 questions. If you see the third question, it's divided into 2 parts, which comes round to we have 4 questions in total. And if we speak for half minute, then we will be able to finish it in 2 minutes, right? So, you have to keep certain things in mind while you speak in the speaking test. Okay, now the first thing that is to be kept in mind is preparation time. Please note that you will be given only 1 minute to prepare, not more than that. You will be given a paper, you will be given a pencil, and you will be given a cue card. Now on this cue card, questions will be written. It's your wish. You want to jot down some points on the paper provided to you, or you want to retain it in your mind. Now let's come to the speaking time. You are given 1 minute for preparing and double the time, that is 2 minutes for speaking. Whatever you prepared in 1 minute, you have to speak that for 2 minutes. Your vocabulary should be good and you should have good confidence level, right? You should be confident when you speak. Now, very, very important. Let's read the question first. What is the goal in your life? There might be some other question during the day of the test. Please take care that you're able to figure out what is the keyword in the question. Now here in this question, the keyword is goal, right? So we can speak 2 lines or a line about goal, and then you are going to answer what is asked. What is the goal in your life? Now let's say goal is something that gives meaning to our lives. And if we don't have a goal in life, what happens? Our life is going to be meaningless. It is going to be very dull. It will have no direction. So one should always have a goal in life, as it's paucity. Paucity here means lack. If you don't have a goal, it means if you're lacking in having a goal, it makes your life very dull and directionless. Drab means dull and directionless means without any direction. You can please have a paper and a pencil with you so that you can just note down what are the keywords and what are the important words we are talking about here. And always remember, your speaking skills and your writing skills, they're somewhat interrelated to each other. Now, how are they interrelated? Now, if I'm telling you these words like paucity, drab, directionless, it doesn't mean that you can't use them in your writing skills. Of course you can. And whatever words you learn in your writing skills, you can use them in your speaking skills, right? Okay, now we come to the direct question, what is the goal in your life? Point number 1 and 2, they were an introduction to the keyword. Now we come to the answer. I have plethora of goals. Plethora means many, numerous. But the one I am going to talk about is coding. So I've answered the question here that the goal I'm going to talk about is coding. Now, why do I want that I should have coding as a goal? Owing to the ballooning trend, ballooning means rising, of the IT sector. In today's time, if you talk about IT sector is actually booming, it's rising, it's on the rise, it's making a good progress. It has become quite imperative to learn the basics of programming. Now, if you see the word imperative, imperative here is a positive word that yes, you have to do coding, you have to learn coding. I'm giving you just half a minute. Just go through all these 4 points and see which are the keywords and which are the words you can jot down so that it will help you during your exams. Alright, we move on to the next slide and the next question. How easy or difficult it will be to reach your goal? Now, please make sure you answer whether it's easy for you or it's difficult for you, and you can also answer why. Though it's not mentioned in the question, but you can definitely answer so that we are able to speak for 2 minutes and not less than that, right? It should not be a Herculean task, as I have some basic knowledge about coding. Now, what do you mean by the word Herculean? What does it mean? It means difficult task. So it is not going to be a difficult task for me. Why is it not going to be a difficult task? Because I have some basic knowledge about coding. And of course, I'll be better at learning things if you compare me to an absolute beginner. If there is a person who has no knowledge about coding, it will be a very time consuming process for him or her to learn it, but it's not going to be for me. Why? Because I already have some knowledge about coding. Now we come to the last question of the cue card. How do you plan to achieve this goal? And fourth question is, why is it one of your goals? Now if you say, how do you plan to achieve it? First of all, you will say, I'm very optimistic about it. Optimistic means positive. Why am I so positive? Because I know that I'll be able to gain the required skills. Why will I be able to gain the required skills? Because I have some knowledge about it. And I plan to approach it in a very systematic manner. Systematic manner is basically the answer to your question. Now, next point is going to be, again, how do you plan? First, it says that I'm going to do it in a systematic manner, and then it says that I'm going to get myself enrolled in some online course. I learn the easiest language first, and then step by step, I'll keep moving towards the difficult concepts. Clear? It is one of my goals. Why? Because I just told you a couple of minutes back that IT sector is actually booming. If it's booming, it's obviously providing you with good salary, handsome salary. And it also helps you to grow personally and professionally, right? You have half a minute, please go through it. At the end of every video, I request you to write down the important words and the meaning, and just read them once so that you're able to use them during your exam or during your tests. If you talk about good words here, it is optimistic, systematic approach, enrolled, professionally, personally, right? So I really think you're gonna gain something from this video. All right, thank you everyone.